constitue également une source d'inspiration importante pour l'orientation future et le renouvellement de l'Organisation des États d'Afrique, des Caraïbes et du Pacifique. Cette journée marque une étape importante dans l'évolution des relations entre l'Afrique et l'Union européenne. Et pour la première fois, des parlementaires de nos deux régions se réunissent dans ce nouveau cadre institutionnel établi en vertu de l'accord de Samoa, avec la responsabilité commune de façonner un partenariat stratégique plus équilibré, tourné vers l'avenir. Cette assemblée est plus qu'un simple rassemblement, rassemblement parlementaire. Elle est l'une des premières institutions conjointes clés établies en vertu de l'accord de Samoa et assume donc une responsabilité politique et institutionnelle considérable. À cet égard, il est important de reconnaître qu'un partenariat Afrique-Union européenne, dans le cadre de l'accord de Samoa, solide et efficace, ne peut être maintenu que grâce à une organisation des États d'Afrique, des Caraïbes et du Pacifique plus forte, plus dynamique et plus proactive. L'organisation est donc un cadre politique et institutionnel le plus large qui rassemble nos régions, promeut la solidarité entre les États membres et constitue le fondement sur lequel ce partenariat est bâti. Il est donc essentiel que nous continuions à renforcer notre organisation en tant qu'institution moderne, pertinente et orientée vers l'action, capable de répondre aux défis mondiaux contemporains et de faire progresser les intérêts collectifs de ses membres. Les discussions que nous menons ici à Eswatini contribueront à définir le ton, l'orientation et l'ambition du futur engagement entre l'Afrique et l'Union européenne, fondé sur le respect mutuel, la responsabilité partagée, la solidarité et les intérêts communs. Honorables députés, Mesdames et Messieurs, le monde qui nous entoure connaît une profonde transformation. Les tensions géopolitiques, les conflits armés, l'incertitude économique, le changement climatique, l'insécurité alimentaire, les bouleversements technologiques et les inégalités croissantes continuent d'exercer une pression sur nos sociétés et nos institutions. Dans le même temps, le multilatéralisme lui-même est soumis à des tensions croissantes. Dans ce contexte, la coopération entre l'Afrique et l'Union européenne n'est pas une question de choix, mais une nécessité stratégique, mais désormais orientée et mieux gérée. L'Afrique se trouve aujourd'hui à un moment crucial du parcours de son développement. Le continent possède un immense potentiel humain et naturel, une population jeune en pleine croissance, une innovation numérique en expansion et d'importantes opportunités de transformation industrielle. Et pourtant, nos citoyens attendent également des progrès concrets en matière de paix et de sécurité, d'emploi, de gouvernance, d'infrastructures, d'éducation, de mobilité et de développement durable. Il est donc important que l'engagement entre l'Afrique et l'Union européenne évolue au-delà des approches traditionnelles et s'adapte davantage aux réalités contemporaines et aux aspirations de nos peuples. Et nous avons un rôle particulièrement important à jouer dans ce processus. Et ma collègue et moi, nous en avons pleinement conscience. En tant que représentants de nos citoyens, nous sommes particulièrement bien placés pour concilier les perspectives régionales et politiques, renforcer la responsabilité démocratique et veiller à ce que notre partenariat reste centré sur les personnes. Grâce à la diplomatie parlementaire, à la coopération législative et au dialogue politique, nous pouvons contribuer à instaurer la confiance, à promouvoir des priorités communes et à soutenir la mise en œuvre de nos engagements. Cette Assemblée nous offre également l'occasion de renforcer la coopération dans les domaines d'importance stratégique sur lesquels nous allons délibérer bientôt. En matière de paix et de sécurité, nos régions continuent de faire face à des menaces transnationales, notamment le terrorisme, l'extrémisme violent, les changements anticonstitutionnels de gouvernement, la criminalité organisée, les cybermenaces et l'insécurité maritime. Une coopération renforcée entre les organisations régionales, les parlements et les parlementaires internationaux reste capitale. En matière de migration et de mobilité, nous devons adopter des approches équilibrées qui s'attaquent aux causes profondes tout en développant des voies sûres, ordonnées et régulières pour la mobilité, l'éducation, les compétences et les opportunités. La diaspora africaine est estimée à près de 160 millions de personnes dans le monde, a contribué à hauteur de plus de 95 milliards de dollars américains en transfert de fonds en 2024 contre environ 90 milliards en 2023. Ce qui reflète la contribution croissante de la migration au développement, à la résilience et aux revenus des ménages à travers le continent. Dans la seule Afrique subsaharienne, les flux de transfert de fonds sont passés d'environ 55 milliards de dollars en 2023 à 56 en 2024. Dans le même temps, les conflits, les chocs climatiques et les pressions économiques continuent d'entraîner des déplacements de population et des migrations irrégulières, soulignant la nécessité d'une gouvernance des migrations globales, équilibrée et centrée sur les personnes qui élargissent les opportunités tout en s'attaquant aux causes profondes des migrations forcées. En matière de transformation économique, nous devons veiller à ce que les partenariats sur les matières premières essentielles, la transition énergétique et le développement numérique favorisent la création de valeur ajoutée, l'industrialisation, le transfert de technologies et la création d'emplois en Afrique. En matière de jeunesse et de développement humain, nous devons placer les jeunes au centre de notre coopération en investissant dans l'éducation, les compétences, l'entrepreneuriat et l'innovation. En matière de multilatéralisme et de réforme des Nations Unies, la voix et la représentation de l'Afrique dans la gouvernance mondiale doivent être renforcés afin de refléter les réalités actuelles et de consolider la légitimité du système international. Les enjeux qui se présentent à nous sont interdépendants et exigent un leadership collectif, une compréhension mutuelle et un engagement politique soutenu. Et nos collègues européens et nous en sommes bien conscients et déterminés. Le succès de notre partenariat dépendra en fin de compte non seulement de la force de nos institutions, mais aussi de notre capacité à traduire le dialogue en coopération concrète et en résultats tangibles pour nos peuples. Honorables députés, mesdames et messieurs, l'accord de Samoa nous offre un cadre solide pour notre engagement, mais les accords seuls ne suffisent pas. Leur succès dépendra de leur mise en œuvre, de la volonté politique et d'un engagement soutenu. À cet égard, nous devons veiller à ce que cette Assemblée parlementaire devienne une institution dynamique, efficace et adaptée à sa mission, capable de maintenir un dialogue continu, de renforcer la coordination entre nos institutions et de produire des résultats concrets qui répondent aux attentes de nos peuples. La responsabilité qui nous incombe est donc considérable. Nous devons travailler ensemble, non seulement en tant qu'institution, mais aussi en tant que partenaires engagés en faveur d'un avenir commun fondé sur la paix, la dignité, la prospérité et le développement durable. Dans quelques instants, nous allons entamer nos délibérations. Faisons dans un esprit de coopération et de respect mutuel. Tirons parti de cette Assemblée pour renforcer la compréhension, forger un consensus au sein de l'Organisation des États d'Afrique, des Caraïbes et du Pacifique et proposer des solutions concrètes aux défis communs auxquels nos régions sont confrontées. Je reste donc convaincu que les bases que nous posons ici à Eswatini, dans le cadre de cet accord, contribueront de manière significative à un partenariat Afrique-Union européenne plus solide, plus stratégique et plus tourné vers l'avenir dans les années à venir. C'est sur ces mots que je vous remercie pour votre aimable attention. Merci.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Puissons-nous offrir une mauvaise, s'il vous plaît. Indeed, our cooperation has long tenure, as evidenced from Yaoundé conventions in 1963 to Lomé Convention 1975 to the year 2000 to Cotonou, the Cotonou Partnership Agreement from the year 2000 to the year 2023, now on to the Samoa Agreement for another 20 to 20 years. The concepts of unity, peace, and an enhanced implementation of these partnerships becomes critical. We must find implementation modalities and mechanisms that are impactful, effective, and swift to impact the lives of those who we represent. Distinguished Chamber, Honorable Jabulani Clement Mabuza is a seasoned politician and an astute business personality, affectionately referred to by many as Buy Cash. Speaker Mabuza has established a remarkable footprint of accomplishments at home, across the African continent, and further afield. The Speaker of the House of Assembly of the Kingdom of Eswatini. I now have the singular honor to invite the Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Honorable Jabulani Clement Mabuza, to deliver his remarks. Following his remarks, he will invite the representative of His Majesty the King, who is also an honorable member of the Eswatini Parliament and is assigned to the OACPS Africa Parliamentary Assembly, to deliver his statement. Honorable Mr. Speaker, vous avez la parole, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Program Director of this very important event, Your Royal Highness Prince Lindani, representative of His Majesty King Mswati III, and who is also a member of the OACPS representing Eswatini Parliament. Bantu Bengosi, my colleague, Senate President, distinguished co-president of this Assembly, honorable ministers, excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Secretary Generals of this Assembly, honorable members of Parliament from the OACPS Africa region member states, and from the European Union, Your Excellencies, heads of diplomatic missions and representatives of international organizations, Parliamentary Service Board, the Clerk to Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini, captains of industry, distinguished invited guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all this morning. It is my singular honor as Speaker of the House of Assembly of the Kingdom of Eswatini and that of my colleague, Senate President, to welcome you to the Kingdom, to this soil, and to this moment. We do not use the word historic lightly in parliamentary life. We have learned as legislators that the word is often borrowed before it is earned. But I say to you today, without hesitation, that what we inaugurate here is historic, not because we have gathered in great numbers, not because the flags of many nations are displayed in this building, but because of what this assembly represents in the evolving relationship between Africa and Europe within the framework of the OACPS partnership. For decades, the framework governing relations between African states and Europe was largely defined through agreements negotiated at executive level. From Lom to Cotonou, those agreements did important work, but they were often negotiated far from the everyday realities of the citizens, whose lives they would ultimately affect. under the Samoa Agreement, a more modern and balanced partnership continues to emerge. And today, through this Africa-EU Parliamentary Assembly, parliamentarians themselves assume a more central role in shaping that relationship. This assembly is therefore not merely procedural, it is symbolic of a broader evolution in the partnership between Africa and Europe, one grounded increasingly in dialogue between peoples, institutions, and elected representatives. And I'm proud that this inauguration gathering is taking place here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests, allow me to speak briefly, not merely about this building, but about the place in which we gather today. Because in Eswatini, places carry meaning. We are gathered in Ezulwini, a name which in English means heaven. It is a valley of extraordinary beauty and tranquility, embraced by mountains, softened by flowing rivers, and defined by a calmness that has for generations made it a place of reflection, gathering, and national significance. Those who visit Ezulwini quickly understand why Emaswati speak of it with such affection and pride. It is not simply a geographic location, it is a spiritual and symbolic space within the life of our nation. And perhaps it is fitting that this assembly convenes here. For Ezulwini is already etched into the political and diplomatic history of our continent. It was here that Africa formulated and adopted what became known as the Ezulwini Consensus, a defining common African position on the reform of the United Nations Security Council, anchored on the principle that Africa must speak for herself in matters concerning her future and her place in the international system. That historic consensus was born from dialogue, mutual respect, patient listening, and a shared belief that even diverse nations can find common purpose when guided by principle and sincerity. It is our hope that the same spirit shall guide the deliberations of this assembly. The calmness of Ezulwini reflects something about the character of Emaswati themselves. We are a peaceful people who value dialogue over discord, understanding over confrontation, and partnership over division. Our culture teaches us that important matters are best resolved not through shouting across divides, but through sitting together, listening to one another, and searching honestly for common ground. That is the atmosphere we hope you will experience during your stay in the Kingdom of Eswatini. That is the spirit in which this assembly has been convened. And it is within this valley, this place of heaven, that we welcome parliamentarians from Africa and Europe to engage in conversations that we hope will strengthen trust, deepen partnership, and shape a more balanced and human international order. Distinguished guests, you are seated in the Ezulwini Palazzo International Convention Center, itself a reflection of Eswatini's determination to position itself as a convener of meaningful dialogue and international engagement. This is not merely a conference facility, it is a statement of confidence in our future and in our ability as a small but principled nation to contribute meaningfully to continental and global conversations. His Majesty King Mswati III, who this year marks 40 years on the throne of the Kingdom of Eswatini, understood that nations which wish to participate meaningfully in shaping the future must invest not only in roads and buildings, but also in spaces where ideas meet, partnerships are forged, and understanding is cultivated. This ICC is therefore part of that vision. It is Eswatini saying to Africa and to the world, we are open, we are ready, let us engage, let us build together. And there is something profoundly symbolic about the fact that the inaugural Africa-EU Parliamentary Assembly is taking place here in Ezulwini, a place associated both with peace and with one of Africa's most important diplomatic consensus position. May that symbolism not be lost on us. On behalf of the people and Parliament of Eswatini, I extend our deepest gratitude to His Majesty for his vision for the ICC, for this kingdom's place in the continental conversation, and for 40 years of dedication to Eswatini's dignity and progress. Now to the business of why parliamentarians matter in this conversation, I think we owe ourselves that argument. Heads of state sign agreements, ministers negotiate frameworks, technical experts draft the clauses, and then those agreements come to us, to Parliament, often late, sometimes faint assembly, and we are asked to give them democratic clothing. That is not partnership. That is ratification theater. What this assembly offers is something different, something more honest and more durable. Parliaments are the institutions closest to the citizens. We do not govern from summits. We govern from constituencies, from the rural communities of Eswatini's foraging, from the townships, from the villages, from the cities and farming towns of Europe. We hear directly what trade policy feels like when it reaches a small business owner. We understand from our own people what climate agreements mean when the rains fall or the floods come. We know the human texture of the policies that executives negotiate in the abstract. This Parliamentary Assembly must therefore be more than a forum for endorsement. It must be a forum for initiation where parliamentarians from African member states and from the European Union bring the lived experience of their constituents into the shaping of our shared agenda before decisions are made, not after. We must have meaningful input into the evolving Africa-EU partnership architecture under the Samoa Agreement. We must be genuine partners in shaping trade, investment, development, governance, and people-centered cooperation between our regions. We must hold our respective executives accountable, not adversarially, but the democratic counterweight that keeps agreements honest and implementation real. That is the connective tissue parliaments provide between citizens and the big agreements, between aspiration and accountability, between a signed document and a changed life. Eswatini is a small kingdom. We know this. We are landlocked, we are not populous, and we do not come to this assembly with the weight of a continental giant. But we come with something that has always served small nations well in multilateral spaces: clarity of principle and consistency of voice. We believe in the sovereign equality of all member states. We believe that the strength of this partnership lies not in the dominance of any one party, but in the genuine respect each brings to the table. We believe, and I believe personally, that the quality of what we build here over the coming days will be measured not by the eloquence of our speeches, but by the seriousness of our intent. Eswatini is committed to that seriousness. This assembly has our full support as host, as participant, and as a parliament that understands from its own experience the value of institutions that work. To the honorable members from across the African region of the OACPS, welcome. You carry with you the mandate of millions of citizens across our continent, whose futures will be shaped by the quality of the partnerships we build and the decisions we take. Honor that responsibility. To our colleagues from the European Parliament, welcome to Eswatini. We are glad you are here, not as visitors to a distant partner, but as fellow legislators grappling with the same fundamental challenge. How do we build together a world that is more just, more prosperous, and more stable than the one we inherited? To all invited guests, representatives of civil society, international organizations, and the diplomatic community, your presence enriches this gathering, and we welcome you warmly. Ladies and gentlemen, 40 years ago, a young king assumed the throne of this kingdom and began the long work of building a nation, preserving its identity, safeguarding its sovereignty, and positioning it confidently within the community of nations. Today, in a convention center that stands as part of that legacy, parliamentarians from across Africa and the European Union gather for the first time in this format to begin a different but equally important long work. The work of building trust in regions, the work of strengthening understanding between peoples, the work of ensuring Africa-Europe cooperation is rooted not in dependency, but in dignity, mutual respect, and shared prosperity. And perhaps it is fitting that this work begins here in Ezulwini, a place whose very name speaks of peace, reflection, and higher purpose. May future generations look back on what was begun here in Ezulwini and say that once again, this valley became the birthplace not merely of consensus, but of genuine partnership between peoples and nations. Let us therefore be worthy of this moment. Let us be worthy of the people who sent us here, and let us leave the kingdom of Eswatini with more than memories of a fine gathering, and let us leave with the foundations of something enduring, something meaningful, something that advances the lives of the citizens that we represent. Siyabonga kakhulu.
May we please give applause, speaker. As Africans and Europeans, music flows through our veins. Distinguished chamber, I would now request for permission to allow musical items to be rendered by our local. Have a round of applause for Ezulwini. Very much, and thank you for your indulgence, delegates. Seize the opportunity to benefit from technology. There was a drone that took the imagery as we were indulging in a musical item. Distinguished delegates, we will now continue with our program. I will request the Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly to do the needful. Honorable Mr. Speaker, you have the floor once again.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Honorables. The Bible says there is time for everything. And it is now that time for something very important for this gathering. Distinguished guests, at this juncture, allow me to humbly invite His Royal Highness Prince Lindani, the representative of His Majesty King Mswati III, who is also a member of the OACPS representing Eswatini Kingdom or Eswatini Parliament in this very important organization. I shall request all of us to rise and then allow His Royal Highness to take the podium and deliver his remarks. Your Royal Highness, please.
We may take our seats. Program Director, the ambassador, Eswatini's ambassador in Brussels, and also my uncle. He worked very well with the Secretary General to revive this organization. So, well done. Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, co-presidents of the Africa-EU Parliamentary Assembly, honorable ministers, Secretary General of the OACPS, His Excellency Musa Saleh Batraki, and also my brother. Honorable members of Parliament of the European Union, honorable members of Parliament of the OACPS Africa region, the President of the Senate of the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini, and your colleague and my boss, the House Speaker of the House of Assembly of the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Honorable members of both Houses of Parliament, diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Siyanivusela nonke bekunene lapha Ezulwini Palazzo. I have been commanded by His Majesty the King, Ingwenyama of the Kingdom of Eswatini, to represent him on the official opening of the first Africa-EU Parliamentary Assembly here at Ezulwini, a place full of history and heritage. It is my honor and privilege to read his speech accordingly. From the onset, let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to the Kingdom of Eswatini for this official opening of the first Africa-EU Parliamentary Assembly. I am sure you have already experienced the warmth and the love of our people. The Kingdom of Eswatini is a country that has set itself goals and aspirations that seek to propel to be at par with developed nations of this world. The Kingdom of Eswatini is privileged to host such a gathering, which brings together parliamentarians, policymakers, and strategic partners from Africa and Europe in the spirit of cooperation, dialogue, and shared development. Allow me to express sincere appreciation to the OACPS Secretariat the European Union, and all participating delegates for the confidence which they have placed in the Kingdom of Eswatini in hosting this very important assembly. Your presence here reflects the enduring strength of the partnership between Africa and Europe and our collective commitment to multilateral engagement. This occasion is particularly significant for our country because it marks the first international parliamentary gathering to be hosted at the Ezulwini Palazzo. This milestone reflects Eswatini's continuing commitment to international engagement, modern infrastructure development, and constructive diplomacy. We are very proud that this facility begins its journey by hosting a forum that is dedicated to partnership, to peace, democratic dialogue, and to Europe. It is our hope that this impressive facility will continue to serve as a platform for regional cooperation, investment promotion, cultural exchange, and international understanding. The convening of the inaugural Africa-EU Parliamentary Assembly represents an important chapter in parliamentary diplomacy between our two regions. Parliamentarians play a very vital role in promoting democratic governance, accountability, peace, and development. It further ensures that international partnerships respond meaningfully to the aspirations of our people. We are encouraged that the program of this assembly addresses issues of strategic importance to both Africa and to Europe, which include peace and security, youth mobility and education, women's economic empowerment, critical mineral partnerships, and the future of multilateralism. The inclusion of the youth, women, and business forums alongside the parliamentary proceedings demonstrate a commendable, people-centered, and inclusive approach to cooperation. The Assembly program further reflects the growing importance of parliamentary cooperation in addressing contemporary global challenges. Discussions scheduled during this session include regional peace and security cooperation, youth education and mobility, women's empowerment in agriculture, critical minerals partnerships, and reforms of multilateral institutions. As we meet here today, the international community continues to confront significant and interconnected challenges, including climate change, food insecurity, geopolitical tensions, debt pressures, and rapid technological transformation. These realities require strengthened international solidarity, practical cooperation, and renewed commitment to effective multilateralism. Eswatini remains very supportive of the Samoa Agreement as the new framework governing relations between the OACPS and the European Union. We believe this agreement provides an important platform for advancing cooperation in trade and investment in governance, climate resilience, education, digital transformation, and sustainable economic growth. Africa's development priorities remain very clear. Our partnerships must support industrialization, infrastructure development, value addition, food security, youth employment, and technological innovation. We also believe that Africa's natural resources, including critical minerals, must contribute meaningfully to inclusive growth and sustainable prosperity for the African people. Equally important is investment in our youth through education, entrepreneurship, skills development, and innovation. Young people and women remain central to Africa's economic transformation and long-term prosperity. The Kingdom of Eswatini remains committed to peace, dialogue, and international cooperation. We therefore welcome the Assembly's focus on strengthening multilateralism and ensuring that Africa's voice continues to be amplified within global governance institutions and international decision-making processes. It is our sincere hope that the deliberations of this Assembly will deepen cooperation between Africa and Europe and contribute meaningfully, practically, and lasting solutions to our shared global challenges. Our people from different regions are following this Assembly with keen interest because they are confident it will come out with a clear direction for the future of our populace, of inclusive development, leaving no one behind. Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, honorable members, I wish you all productive deliberations and a successful Parliamentary Assembly. I thank you, and may the Almighty God bless us all. And by the power vested in me, commanded by His Majesty, I now duly open this conference. Thank you.
You may be seated. Thank you very much. Distinguished gallery. Indeed, he hails from a class of distinguished alumni, the likes of Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Prince William and Harry Windsor, the Princes of Wales and the Duke of Sussex, the likes of Sir Seretse Khama Ian Khama of Botswana, Sir Edmund Mutesa of Uganda, and indeed, to whom much is given, much is expected. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, do permit me to seize this opportunity to commend all dignitaries and delegates, individually and collectively, for your active participation in this historic occasion. To the team that worked tirelessly to ensure that this moment is realized, thank you for making this Parliamentary Assembly a success. I believe we all deserve a round of applause. Allow me to further express my personal gratitude by way of a special commendation to the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Senator the Honorable Polile Shakantu. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your wise and sturdy leadership as you led and guided what will always be remembered as an effective reform agenda of the OACPS. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I would like to acknowledge previous members of the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini who served on the OACPS Parliamentary Assembly. His Royal Highness Prince Kuduza, Prince Mfano Makosi, among others. I would want to appreciate our EU colleagues who made this all possible. Mr. Domenico Rosa and the team of negotiators who are the founding fathers of this successor agreement to the Cotonou Partnership Agreement. Thank you immensely. Finally, to my predecessors, you laid the foundation, you built the robust relations through astute diplomacy, whilst deepening, broadening, and strengthening Eswatini bilateral cooperation with the EU over the years. Ambassador Solomon Dlamini, Ambassador Dr. Tembayena Dlamini, Ambassador Clifford Mamba, I hope you're in the gallery, and Ambassador Joel Nhlego. Thank you, Your Excellencies, for your hard work. And dedication to your country. Not to forget His Excellency Ambassador Nicola Bellomo and all successive EU ambassadors who have occupied the high office at the EU delegation, for your cooperation, for your patience, and your collaboration. To you we say, Siyabonga kakhulu. Distinguished delegates, I have just two announcements to make. Members of the official party and heads of delegation are kindly requested to proceed to the official family photo just outside the gallery, close to the flags. This is to be performed, as I've mentioned, near the flags in the exhibition hall, whilst we allow the official procession to leave and their Royal Highnesses and Honorable Ministers. The rest of us may proceed to the multi-purpose hall where we will be served with a luncheon. Your Royal Highness, His Majesty King Mswati III's representative, Your Royal Highnesses, Honorable Ministers, Co-Presidents, Presiding Officers, Honorable and distinguished delegates, Excellencies, this concludes the formal sitting of the First Africa-EU Parliamentary Assembly. And I would like to thank you all for your esteemed cooperation and for indulging me and us, and may the Almighty bless us all. We adjourn. Could we please allow the drone to take a picture before we leave?
the Caribbean, to the Pacific, a new dawn rises.
Des peuples unis
Par l'histoire,
par la solidarité, par la paix.
unity, solidarité. Hope is renewed, the road ahead more promising, and the world embraces liberty, yeah. And hearts awaken peacefully when we cultivate the seed of solidarity.
Dawn marches at the sound of unity, building our common path as humanity. Fellowship of nations is the flag of ACP.
OACPS,
Forever
we are the voice.
a history born from the same song.
Together we rise,
Together we stand,
marching.
hand in
We sing our purpose and our dream to advance and live in peace supreme.
one love, one heart, one destiny. OACPS in harmony.
Oh,
A world of love and peace.
un monde d'amour et de paix.
Unity forever.
Solidarity
Solidarity.
forever.
Unity forever.
Solidarity.
Solidarity.
Raise the banner high tonight, from the islands to the motherland. We stand together side by side. Africa, Caribbean, Pacific Islands. One people moving as one, under the OACPS sun. Unity, solidarity, freedom, fraternity.
Move together.
Rise together,
One destiny forever.
one destiny forever. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. L'espoir est renouvelé, les chemins sont plus ouverts. Quand le monde tombe amoureux de la liberté sincère. Lorsqu'on cultive la rainure de la solidarité, l'aube se rapproche au rythme de l'unité. Construisant ensemble notre humanité, le drapeau des nations ACP nous guidera. We are the voice
Of one truth. Nous sommes la voix de la raison. A history born from one song. Une histoire qui jaillit dans une même chanson. We sing our purpose and our dreams.
Nous chantons notre rêve et notre désir
To advance a little
d'avancer et de vivre
in a world of love and peace.
dans un monde d'amour et de paix.
Unity forever.
sing together.
As one family.
Nous chantons comme une seule famille. OACPS, love and peace,
Forever.
amour et paix pour toujours.